Hi everyone! I wanted to show you a really easy, quick project. I was talking to a glass friend yesterday and she makes big flowers, really beautiful big flowers. And you know me, I think of everything as tiny. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if you could make those flowers tiny, like lamp workers do? But then the idea sort of spiraled into my head as usual, and I threw these things in the kiln last night and pulled them out this morning, and I'm really happy with them. So I wanted to show you what I came up with. So here's what I did. I took fiber blanket. This is fiber blanket. I get it at the ceramic shop. This is what it looks like. Big puffy fiber blanket. And I recommend gloves and a mask when you do this because you don't want it to get airborne, and it can kind of get in your skin, irritate your skin. But for right now, I'm not going to do it. So I do recommend the gloves when you're working with it. But I take little pieces of it, so a little piece right here, and I would cut it or tear it. Let's see, I got my scissors here somewhere. Here they are. So I can cut a little piece off of it, or tear it, like I said, either way. For these, I took a chunk of it and pushed it down in the middle and made like a little bowl. See that little bowl? For the other batch, I made a little donut ring. And so they both came out pretty similar. What I wanted to do was get a single piece of glass that would sort of, you know, dip down. See, I didn't have to do anything special. I was trying to get an organic shape. So I ended up with all these little pieces. So I'm going to take them off the board so we don't need to see the board anymore. But I will tell you, I fired these. Once I put them on there, put them in the kiln, single layer of glass, no clear on top. I went 9,999, fast as possible, to, what'd I do, 1400 degrees. Held for 10 minutes and off. And I did these in 2 batches, just a little bit apart from each other. And so this first batch worked out so well that I did a second batch, and one of them cracked. While it was firing, it cracked. And I peeked in the kiln at 1,000 degrees and saw that it had cracked. So I reached in with a pair of tweezers real quick and threw that piece on top of this piece. I couldn't be too specific because I had limited time of reaching in the kiln, but I still like the way it turned out. I think it turned out pretty awesome. Nice shape. I just think it's great. Let me move these guys. I'll put them down here. So I ended up with all these really great little pieces, but what I noticed was some of them had these spikes. Can you see that spike? Crazy sharp, really sharp. So this one, I took over to the grinder and I ground it off. Can you see that little edge is a little rough? So you've got a couple of options with this edge. Or you can do the entire edge and make it look like you wanted it that way. And of course that's the easiest way, right? Or you can fire polish this piece back in the kiln and get that edge nice and shiny. But let's show you what the idea was to take something like this and something like maybe this, and look at, now I'm starting to get some dimension on my little flower. Can you guys see that? Now it's starting to look like a lamp worked flower. But I want something in the middle. Oh, there was one more little piece on that kiln shelf. Where is it? Here it is. I threw this little piece in there on the shelf. It's just a piece of Dichro that can go in the center of that piece. Sort of like the stamen, right? Like the center of the flower. Let me get my fingers out of the way and I'll show you. See, you can kind of see. You can get an idea of what that's going to look like. But I can mix and match these. I really like this one. Really like it. If I throw this piece in there and this piece in there, I'll get my fingers out of the way in a second. Now I end up with this really organic little flower. You guys are having a hard time seeing it. Can you get the idea? Just different pieces of Dichro that have been slumped. I did some clear. So you could do clear on top of a color. Maybe clear on top of this one. with this in the center. Now I've got this really cute organic flower. And I would put a bail on the back. You can put a pin, or you can put a bail, or you can put one of those pin bails. This one, I thought, let me give it a shot if I took little pieces. So let me show you what that would look like. I can take a little dot. Let's see if I can do it without my fingers too much in the way. Can you see that? I wish I could get my fingers out of the way so you guys can see it. And with the table tilted, everything just slides off. Oh, you can kind of see it? Okay. Take this one, put that there. Let's see, what else? And remember, I'd get rid of these spikes. Ah, that's too big. So maybe I put this little dot there. So I just make a bunch of little 3D pieces and then mix and match them together. This one, a little more of an odd shape, but gosh, it could still be cute, right? Put this here, put this here. Now you'd have that little flower as a really neat pendant. I could just mix and match all day long. I just think this is so much fun, and it's so easy, so easy. Let's see. You can just do 2. You don't even have to do 3, right? Just, here's a cool little flower. And see how it's 3-dimensional? It's got that little wonky shape to it. Real natural looking. And so I always have dots. I have dots everywhere. I'm always making dots, right? This is one of my dot containers. And I went through all the little dots to see what would look best on these, and I found the Dichro dots were the best. So these 2 bins are my these 2 little sections are my Dichro dots. Okay, I'm going to try and hold it up here. You see that little Dichro dot? But if I put it, not there, maybe here, I've got a nice little pendant. Oh! So I can put that there. Put the little Dichro dot in the middle. That little bling in the middle, I think, adds a lot to it. And then I would glue them together with your favorite glue, of course. Either E6000, 2-part epoxy, goop, use your favorite. I'm going to real quick do one with 2-part epoxy because I talk about it all the time, but I've never shown it. And it might be a bit of a challenge because I'm at an angle. But I'm going to give it a shot. Double green. It's sort of green. All right. Now I need a dot in the middle. This one's kind of cool. I might use that one. Hard for you guys to see. But I'll glue it and then you'll see it. So this is just a 2-part epoxy I think I get at Walmart or the hardware store. And then I take a scrap piece of cardboard or something and you squeeze it out and see how both pieces come out at the same time? Both, sides of the glue. And then they've got this cap to make sure that you don't put the wrong side on it because the cap would glue to itself if you switch the cap. You get the idea. You'll see. And then I just take a popsicle stick and I am going to mix this side with this side. It's part A with part B, but they're kind enough to make it come out at the same time. And all you really want to do is mix this up really good. Mix, mix, mix. And I like using cardboard and stuff that I can just throw away. So let's see. This one doesn't fit in there as deep, so I've got to find, there we go, right like that. I'm going to put the glue on the back of this one and set it right in there. There we go. I think I need a little more because it's not a perfect fit, right? So I need a little more glue to make sure that it makes contact. Oop, oop, oop. I dripped on my surface. So normally I would have a little more, samples made or do a little more planning. But this one, I literally came up with the idea yesterday and ended up doing my samples last night. So it's a quick one. You guys have to build it with me. All right. So it's going to dry. It's going to take 5 minutes to dry, but there's one of our flowers. So let's see, maybe I would put the bail like this. It's still going to fall apart if I hold it. Can you see that? I think that came out awesome. I want to do one more while the glue is still wet. Let's see, what can I do? I really like this idea. I'm going to try this one. So let's see if I have enough glue to do this one. I think so. I like the depth of this because you can see through that clear Dichro. Okay, so I've got the second layer on it. Now I need sort of a stamen, sort of a center. Okay, you guys, I'm getting glue everywhere because I'm trying to do this upside down and backwards. But oh my gosh, it's not dry, so it's going to move. But do you see that? Do you see that depth? Look at how cool that is. Cool little flowers. Cool little flowers. Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm getting carried away. This one's going to work. I'm going to do this one. So my glue's not dry yet, so that's awesome. I'm just sort of, you know, smearing it on the back, buttering the back of it, of the little piece, because I know the little piece will sort of nestle into the bigger piece and find the glue. Oh, that one fits almost perfectly, you guys. I know it's off center, and so for the perfectionists, you're gonna have a hard time with that, but you'll be glad later. It's gonna look so awesome. I'm taking a little piece of Dichro, a little Dichro dot. I like the dots a lot on these. You know what? This one kind of looks like an oyster and a pearl. Look at that. Can you see the dimension in that? So that would go great with today's today's shirt. So there you go. Nice pendant size. I'll show you guys how to cut this glass. It's so easy. I just sort of cut a rough circle. I'll show you really quick. Here's a piece of Dichro. I'm going to get rid of the glue. And all I did was cut a really rough circle. This is how I get cut, you guys. And when I get down to these corners, I nip them off with my safety goggles on, of course. But see how that has a sharp corner right there? I don't want that sharp corner. I want to nip it off. So it has a rough, organic shape. Do you see all my fingerprints on it right now? Okay, don't look at the fingerprints. But you can see that sort of round shape. Put it on the fiber blanket and fire it up to that temp I told you at the beginning. And you get these sort of rough shapes. That's it, you guys. That's it. I'll put some bails on these, and I'll have Christmas gifts ready to go. Once I take off those sharp corners, right? There you go. All right, can you see them? Ooh, this one started to slide off because it was on an angle, and it kind of looked cool. I kind of like it. You could also drill a hole in them. You can put pin backs on them. Make some flowers. You've got some really easy flowers that you can make. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. It's really great bringing you new projects. So thanks for watching. Bye, guys.